I would say that the most important idea to me would be just that everyone feel heard in our district, from students to staff to parents to other stakeholders, that they feel heard and their ideas are taken in to consideration, and that we have those diverse opinions.
Yeah, so some of my big goals, if I get elected, are to retain and attract quality educators and staff, as well as promote and advocate for STEAM in our schools. That is a big one for me, as well as promoting diversity and inclusion throughout our teachers, staff, and student body as well.
Two most important issues. One is literacy. We're working on some literacy goals this year. One is to reduce our students that are not proficient from 25% down to 15%. So focus on education. The other part is controlling our growth in our district. So we've had some really healthy growth in our district, and how we've handled that is we've closed open enrollment for a handful of years. We've been able to come back and open some of that back up for the last couple of years, or starting this year. So just to kind of control that growth so we have healthy growth, not explosive growth.
So I think the first thing that I think about is student achievement, because I am a teacher, and so I really want to come alongside the board, other board members, and support them. I know they have a goal right now for literacy, to make sure that all students are achieving and that we decrease the number of students that are not proficient in literacy. So I am actually a reading recovery teacher, so I would really just love to come alongside the board and help support that goal.
Regarding academic performance, ADM has a long history of really fine academic performance. Graduation rates have been up for several years. Proficiency scores are relatively good. Currently, the current board and the administration and staff are working towards an initiative to decrease the number of students who are not yet proficient in reading. I'm supportive of that initiative and supportive of the administration and staff making that a priority for this school year. Around financial kind of monitoring and health and district finances, if elected to the board, I would definitely make this a priority for me to really get up to speed on accounting and district finances.
Oh, right, the 18-year-olds, right? I think that you should vote for me. I have a lot of experience in education. I'm a school counselor, and when people ask me to describe my job, it's that I advocate for students. So what you think is important to me, and it's important to how the school operates, so I would be an advocate for all ADM students.
I am currently the youngest person running for school board this cycle, and I have gone through the school system in the last decade, so I have been in your shoes not long ago, and I am ready and willing to listen to you folks, to hear what you're feeling, hear how you're feeling, what school is like for you, and take those into account as I am have gone through this in recent years.
That's a great question. So I walked these halls here at the high school 25 years ago, just like you. I was sat in the same classrooms, didn't obviously have the same teachers, but I know what it's like to be here at ADM, and I had an unbelievable experience as a high schooler with the community surrounding me and my family. So I want to provide that same experience, and as close as I can to have support from the community, support from the school board.
So I mentioned that I'm a teacher, so I've been teaching for 17 years, and so what that means is that I've just really chose to put students first every day in my job. I have to make sure that I'm doing what's best for students and making sure that they're getting the education that they need, and that's really what I want to do for ADM and this serving role on school board. Is I just want to make sure that each and every student feels like they're getting the best possible education that they can get, and I also want to make sure that they feel like they have a culture and climate in our schools where they can come and not only learn but also be leaders, follow their passions, be involved in extracurriculars and other things where they can just feel like they're leading, learning, and also just making good relationships for the future.
Yeah, I think that's a great question, and one that I really appreciate, because one of the things that motivates me to want to run for the school board is what I'm fundamentally interested in is making sure that our graduates graduate ADM and have the skills, the critical thinking skills, the knowledge to be competitive in the marketplace.
Again, my experience in education, I am a natural listener. That's kind of, I think, my number one strength, that I want to hear from people. If you vote for me, you can guarantee that I will always respond to your questions or concerns or input, and just that I would be a big cheerleader for our district.
Yeah, so my whole goal of this is to bring a new voice to the board. I am ready and willing to learn. I'll be the first to say I don't have all of the answers, but I'm ready to put in the work, and willing to listen to our community members, our student body, staff, and educators to make sure those folks, their voices are heard, and those are brought to the table on the board. I also am, like I've pointed out, I am a younger person, so I am ready to bring a fresh new voice to the board, which is much needed.
Yeah, 3 words come to mind. First is consistency. I provide a consistent, stable presence at the board table. We've had an unbelievable last 2 years with unprecedented times with students with COVID and such, and I've just been a consistent member there. Second is experience. I have 11 years of board experience. Want to lean into that board experience for future growth, and also loyal. Like I mentioned before, I'm a 1996 graduate. I love ADM, and I'll be here, and I just love being part of the ADM district.
I've mentioned it now 3 times, but I think the biggest thing is that I'm an educator, and so I do think it's something that you can't really fully understand until you've been in the system, in a school system. And so I do think right now we don't have any board members that are teachers, and so I think a teacher voice on the board would be value added. I also think that one of the biggest things is I just want to serve, and so I don't have any motives other than that I want to come into our community and make sure that I'm giving back and serving, and I think at the heart of school board is service, and so I just want to use my time and my talents to serve, and I really want to make sure that each student is getting the education that they need. And so that's why I would hope that parents and students and other community members would want to vote for me for school board.
I am a critical thinker. I'm pragmatic. I believe that I have a set of skills that I've acquired through my career, through being a father, and through being part of this community that really emphasizes or gives me some valuable assets that I can lend to the board.